Dot dot. Story time with Liza. Actually, well, they don't call me Liza. My real name's Eliza. But we don't put this on my YouTube video because my YouTube says JC, and we're gonna keep it like that. I'm JC Kershaw, and this is my story time. So, as you can see from the caption, it says something about Target. Let's talk about Target. So, we're gonna talk about yesterday, why we ended up, almost in trouble, almost arrested, almost put in juvie yesterday. We're gonna talk about that. Alright. So, me and my girls, Bree, Olivia, my girls, we go on a walk to Target. Because Target's the closest little, retail store near us, and we wanted to go on a walk, or whatever. So we walked up there, and we went to chill or whatever, and we're playing around or whatever. Me and Bree, we do this at every store, every retail store. We grab the Migos carts. I think they're called Migo carts. Amigo carts. The carts that the handicapped people get in, because, or the fat people get in because they don't want to walk. So we get those, and we're riding around on them, and we're playing around, random stuff, girls being girls playing around in the store, and we're looking for stuff or whatever. And I saw this banana I wanted, because I like bananas. So I put the banana in my cart, and we go to the makeup aisle, and we're looking at face masks, because I would love to try on a whole bunch of face masks, because I'm me. So Brie grabs two face masks, because we were going to try them on later, and then we're riding around still, and she grabs this thong. And let me tell you about the thong. It was camouflage, because, why? I don't know why. Brie's like, Liz, these looks like the kind of things you wear. I'm like, what are you? And so she puts it in her cart anyway, because we were fooling around. So we're riding around. We were in there for about an hour and a half. And I saw Cards Against Humanity, which I want. So if anybody wants to send me a box of Cards Against Humanity, I would love you forever. Not the random boxes, the main game, if you know what I mean. I'm getting off subject, okay? Let's bring it back. So Brie went to Starbucks and got her, this thing called a Java chip, would taste amazing. And she got us some breadsticks from Pizza Hut, which I love. I love those breadsticks. So Bree's like, all right, let's go. After we finish playing with the cards in the card aisle or whatever, the stationery aisle. So we get ready to go. And Bree's like, let's put the cards back first. So I'm parallel parking or whatever, and I'm putting my card up, and I plug it in, and the manager's like, can we get a security guard over here? Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to come with me. And I was like, me? She's like, yeah, you're the only person over here. I was like, you can excuse your attitude, okay. So we're going or whatever. We end up in the manager's office, and the manager is the lady who came and got me in there. And she brought me and Bree, and Olivia was gonna go in there. She was like, oh, actually, I don't have anything on you. You don't have any store merchandise, do you, either? And she's like, no. So she sends Livy out, and Liv is sitting on a bench or whatever. So she sits me and Bree. We're in there, and we're sitting on the bench, and Bree's like, why are we in here? What do we do? And the manager's like, you passed all points of purchase with Target merchandise. And that's when I'm like, we didn't walk through those doors, nor did we pass through those metal detector things. The stealing detectors. We didn't pass those. We didn't go straight through those, or we didn't go through the doors. So, what's the thing is? What do we talk about? And she's like, well, we have this thing called a carpet, and as soon as you pass that carpet, we can grab you. We can take you in for stealing. Larceny. And I'm like, okay, but you saw us putting the carts away, and you knew we were going to go buy them. Bree says, I have the money to pay for it. And she pulls out the money, and the manager goes, she's like, well, I've seen people with more money than that steal things. They say they do it for the thrill. And I'm like, okay, but we weren't. And she's like, it's just like how you guys get on those carts or whatever, and you ride around, even though you both are perfectly fine. And I'm like, honey, but you see the money, and we obviously telling you we have no intent on stealing. We didn't go through those doors, and why would we go through the doors with a cart? With the carts, like the carts stay inside to be plugged in. Obviously, your logic is wrong, Miss Lady, because you saw us, and you saw everything we were doing. She said, I've been watching you guys for the past few times you come in here. We've only been in there 3 times that week. So as we were going in, I'm confused, like, what is she talking about? Like, she's been watching us. I remember last time we were in there, she watched me, and she also grabbed my phone out of the basket when I left it in there. And she's watching us, like, she watched us the whole time as we were in there riding around. And she's like, well, listen, this and this. And I'm just like, all right, honey, like, whatever. And we end up, the guy, the security guard that she brings in there, his name is Chris. He's nice. He's killed a spider for me or whatever. She tells him to handcuff us to the bench. So we're handcuffed to the bench. Just one hand to the bench. And Bree's like shook. Like, we weren't like, Bree's crying, but like, she's not crying like sad tears or like shook tears. What she's crying is angry tears because the whole situation was stupid as heck. I'm feeling like, what's your point? Like, I don't get it. And we both don't get it. And so she's like, I'm gonna need you to call your parents or whatever. I'm gonna I'm like, it depends. It's the boss's choice if she wants to press charges or not. And, I'm gonna, hit you with a trespassing thing so, like, you won't be able to come back, and a civil demand thing or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna need to call your parents and I'm gonna get your addresses. So she gets our everything or whatever. She gets Bree's everything, and she's like, and I told her, she's like, do you have anybody to pick you up? Like, do you guys have anybody to pick you up? Bree's like, oh, I can call my stepdad. And I'm like, well, actually, my parents, I live in Inkster. I'm just visiting. So my parents are like way farther away. And she's like, oh, that's gonna be a problem or whatever. So I'm texting, as I'm doing it, I text my dad and I'm like, Dad, I need you, if I call you, I'm gonna need you to come get me or whatever. And he's like, what happened? What's going on or whatever? And so I'm gonna skip through that because my dad made me mad. So everything after that, the woman's like, okay, so she calls Bree. Bree's stepdad is up here already because Liv called him or whatever. And, he's already like mad or whatever. The lady goes out there and I'm pretty sure she's like about me or whatever. And I'm guessing Liv told me that Josh is like, that's just her stepdad names. He's like, well, her parents are going through a divorce, and then she's staying with me for a little bit. So technically I am her guardian. So I ended up being released to them. And the lady made us sign this, and we are banned, me and Brianna are both banned from Farmington Hills Target for 1 year, exactly from yesterday. And so that's what, how I ended up almost in juvie, and how I ended up handcuffed to a bench in Target. How I almost killed a manager. Figuratively, I guess. But, yeah. That's my video for today. That's what I was going to post. I haven't posted in a while, and I apologize for that. And I guess I'll see you guys maybe next week, the week after that. I don't really know, but I'm gonna post this up on my stuff. I'm gonna put my Snapchat and my Instagram and my Facebook links down in the description box so everybody can follow me or whatever, and I'll put updates on when I'm gonna post. So without further ado, that concludes videos with JC. Bye! Bye! Bye!
We used to roll at the rink. We used to roll at the rink. I used to talk way too much. You used to know everything.